Hey guys, I want to talk to you about an extremely important role within First Impressions that is often overlooked. It's the role of the setup volunteer. This is particularly important on Saturday nights. The setup volunteer makes sure that all of the pieces in the auditorium or in the lobby space that isn't covered by other volunteers is properly set up. The primary focus of this is on the chairs, making sure that our rows and our chairs are properly set and that all the materials that are necessary for what we use throughout the weekend are properly in place. I'm going to give you a full rundown that's going to sound a little technical. But if you have any questions, there is a guide sheet available in the welcome desk along with the other materials in the top drawer. Simply reference that at any time where you might have any questions. First, the setup of the chairs. The chairs should be set back 3 carpet squares from the front of the stage. We start with the horizontal rows. Those should be approximately even with the curtain in the back of the auditorium, and there should be a row every other carpet square row on the ground. Now, when we look at the diagonal rows, those should line up. Those will go every 3 rows back, or every 3 carpet square rows back, and run on a 45-degree angle. You will have the little tables on the outside of both diagonal rows, as well as on the right-hand side as you're walking up in the center rows. Those tables should each have Bibles on them. We prefer 2 if there are enough available, and a tissue box. The communion setup will also set the trays on these tables. Now, a big part of this is going to be making sure the proper materials are in the backs of the chairs. For the front rows, there's a single blue folder for each of the front rows that should maintain these same materials. In the chair back, they should be set up like this. You should have one of the LifeSpring pens on one of the 2 slots on the end so that a pen is available. You should also have a LifeSpring path insert. This should be on the right-hand side straight up. Then you will have the offerings. You will have normal offering envelopes as well as our transform offering envelopes. Try to put only 1 type per chair. If you can alternate between the types in the row, that is also beneficial. Those should also be on end on the left side next to the path insert. Finally, the pad with the Connect cards should be laid horizontal with the path card out at the bottom and in front of the other materials. If you run low on these materials, you should be replenishing them. The supplies are located in the closet at the back of the auditorium space on the First Impressions shelf. There's a bin prepared with all of these materials. If you ever run short on these materials, please notify your team lead, the First Impressions leader, or myself so that we can ensure that we are not running out of any of these materials. If you have any questions, also come to one of those individuals. Setup is key, particularly on Saturday nights, but there is time and place and need for some setup on Sundays to make sure that things have not been left in the rows, things have not been altered. Finally, there's oftentimes spills on the carpet. Occasionally these get bad enough that we do have to bring in carpet cleaners, and we do that on a regular basis. But the carpet that we have is easily cleanable with a damp cloth, and most of the time the stains are either from drops of coffee or from the communion cups. Simply rubbing the wet cloth on the carpet is usually enough to pull up these stains. We ask that if you have the ability to try and clear up as many of those stains as possible. Other than that, we want to make sure that the proper lighting is lit in each one of the services, that the overhead fluorescents are never on, and that all the other lights are turned up properly in the lobby space. Also, if there are any chairs out of alignment in the lobby, that those are properly organized as well. Thank you so much for your added help in making this a totally successful first impression from the setup all the way through the actual contact and conversation with people when they come in the door.